The situation with Shemar Stewart is becoming as volatile as humanly possible. Let's talk about it. So, starting off right away, this situation with Shemar Stewart is messy, but it's messy on the Bengals front office side. It's not a fault of Shemar Stewart, but again, it is a situation where someone has to cave. And this is the thing that sucks about business. When both sides are very hard-headed and refuse to give in, you never reach a point where you get a contract figured out. And the Bengals front office changed the contract language and are trying to finesse Shemar Stewart. He's going to practice. He's going to the mandatory mini camps. He's not practicing. He's not doing anything at the mandatory mini camps. But he's doing technically enough where he won't get fined. He's also not even under contract, so I'm not even sure how that situation would go. I would assume once he does sign his contract, then they would fine him. But listen, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess, and it's not going to get figured out until one side caves. But the problem here is Shemar Stewart is losing out on really valuable time processing with the team. He's missing out on mandatory minicamp, which, again, is very important for him going from a college level to the NFL level, is having that process time. And he's missing out on all of it. I know he's there, but he's not doing anything because he doesn't want to risk an injury and have a problem there before he gets under contract. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess, and it's a mess that's not going to get figured out anytime soon. According to sources, we understand that the Bengals have reached out to Trey Hendrickson to try to hopefully figure out a contract, get that done with. There has been zero progress made since the last time Trey Hendrickson spoke. That's volatile. This is volatile. Of course, we've had some quotes today from our boy Shemar Stewart, who said, "I can't say what I really want to say. It is their contract. They can do what they want." And he does say also that it's such a small, little, minuscule thing. He wishes they would just get it done. But again, his side is not giving in. His side is not accepting the bullcrap. And at the same time, the Bengals side is refusing to give in too. So it's not going to get figured out anytime soon. This is not a situation where it's like, okay, well, these players, not every player signs their contract right away. This is just, it's like the Trey Hendrickson situation. This is just a back and forth where it's becoming toxic, and it's a very bad start to a relationship between the team and our first round pick. Again, Demetrius Knight is going out there and processing and doing everything he's supposed to do, and I do applaud him for that. But at the end of the day, every player is different, and every player has different, feelings on certain things. So he does say that he feels 100% right. That is Shemar Stewart, and sitting out but still being there. It's very important that he's actually there and he's not just sitting out and not going there. If you don't go there, then that's a whole entire rabbit hole above itself. But at least he is going there. I will say there is positivity that at least he is learning some things. And he's, figuring some things out from the coaching perspective. But it's not positive. It's not positive outside of that. It's just a mess. And yeah. Some very frank and direct comments from Shemar Stewart and why he continues to feel 100% right to sit out. Clearly very upset and frustrated with the Bengals. He's not signing on the field. One side has to give in. That's just how this is. Either his side or the Bengals side will have to give in order to get this situation figured out. He most notable, it's something very easy to fix. It's kind of disappointing. It is. And until that side gets figured out, man, we're going to be in this situation for a very, very long time because the Bengals front office is very hard-headed, and especially because they changed his contract language and they're trying to, get one over on him on this one. They're not going to change. They're not going to fix anything because they want what they want. And, it seems like he's not a player who's just going to accept that and give in to that. Now, again, you could look at it in the perspective of, and I always try my best. I'm always pro player, but I also believe in the value and principles of, hey, man, you're going to make so much money in the NFL if you're as good as you claim you are. Why not just sign the contract they have, get it done, play out your 4 years, and then get a mega deal? But again, at the end of the day, what if he doesn't? What if he signs that deal and he's an average or below average player? He doesn't transition to the NFL well, and then he ends up never getting a deal again. And that's also another factor that I think he looks into, and obviously his side looks into too. At the end of the day, we all think, we hope he's going to be the best player of all time, but it's possible he gets an injury. He, is just not good. It's always a chance. There's a lot of players who are first-round picks who never become good or get a season-ending injury and never, have a career out of it. So he's trying to cover his basics, and I do respect him for that, because obviously you're not in the NFL for very long. That's just kind of how it is. You got to make the most money you can while in the NFL. But at the end of the day, you're only in the NFL for a certain amount of time. So it is what it is. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Peace out.